The next order will be Mr. Prather, and then Colonel West, and then Senator Huffines. And this is about a little thing called election integrity. I will refrain from saying something about 2020, but it's going through my head and it's going through your head too. All right, how confident are you that we had election integrity in 2020 in the state of Texas? And what is your plan to ensure every legal vote in Texas will be counted?
No, we did not have a good election, did we? There's no question about it. There's meddling. There's been meddling in every election. There's been meddling on both sides. Don't fool yourself. And it has been for generations. There's no greater privilege than to be able to go and vote as an American and trust that your vote is going to count, that the person that you selected is going to be the person who has that delegated authority to represent you in your state or your national capital. I do believe that there is no place for machines to be counting those votes. I believe the best algorithm is the human being and the human mind and their eyes. And I believe they need to be counted as many times as they need to be counted to make sure that the vote is authentic and it is verified. There needs to be as much oversight as possible. There needs to be people who can look over the shoulders if necessary. And we won't see anything like cardboard being put up on the windows to make sure that the polling places are hiding something. We will make sure that voter integrity is enforced to the fullest extent of the law, and anyone caught voting or actively participating in illegal voting will be punished as a federal crime. It will be a felony. And we will demand forensic audits for every single election. In fact, if, contrary to what Senator Huffines says, when I win this election, I will demand a forensic audit of my own election because I want to know that I know that I know that I know. There's nothing better than having having integrity in your heart and knowing that something counted. And folks, we've got to defend this to the full extent of our being. And you know, it's a beautiful thing in this country. And a lot of people are coming out and saying they don't trust the voting process anymore. Folks, they can only turn the knob up so high. They didn't turn it up high enough in 2016 when they thought they had a shoe-in with Hillary Clinton. They turned it up way too high with Brandon. Because we know Joe Biden didn't get 81 million votes. We know he didn't. So what do? You be the algorithm that God created you to be, and you overwhelm the system by showing up and casting your ballot and making sure that we prove them to be the frauds that they are.
All right, Colonel West.
You know, back in 2012 in my congressional reelection race, I ran into a little voter fraud. We had a county clerk by the name of Gertrude Walker that they caught on tape going in and manipulating ballots. And we knew that right after about midnight there was a 3,000 vote shift. We have a problem with voter fraud in the United States of America. If you recall the words of Joseph Stalin, he said it is not the person that casts the ballot that matters, it's the person that counts the ballot that matters. And when I look at what is happening here in Texas, the number one thing that we need to do, you can pass all the laws that you want, but you must enforce those laws. And it is really something to be considerate of, and SB 1 passing here in the state of Texas, but yet on pages 72 to 73, it took voter fraud from being a felony and it brought it down to a misdemeanor. And what message are you sending to people if they are not going to be charged with a felony, but instead a misdemeanor? And we had a Speaker of the House that said he would not take that bill up. That's where you need strong leadership. And furthermore, I would not have signed that bill. Obviously, someone did. Maybe they didn't read the bill. But the most important thing is when you look at what has happened in Harris County, Chris Hollins, who was the county clerk there, who was the treasurer of the Texas Democrat Party, appointed by Lena Hidalgo, he should be in jail. When you think about these curbside voting locations that he put up, when you think about 2.7 million unsolicited ballots that he wanted to mail out, the thing is that we have to enforce those laws. And I think that we have to make sure that the Attorney General's office and also the Secretary of State's office, they focus on this issue. It's not so much about creating a new agency or bureaucracy. It is about people doing their job. And if people can't do their job in protecting the ballot and the vote here in Texas, they should not be in those positions. I know someone running for Attorney General is going to do a pretty good job at protecting your ballot. But the other thing that we have to do is we have to come and follow up on these county commissions. Because one of the things when you read H.R. 1 coming down from the House of Representatives, they don't want voter registration roll review. We must have consistent and regular voter registration roll review. We must make sure that our Secretary of State's office, they're going out there and they are the ones approving and testing and putting out validation for these machines and the processes and the procedures. And if you don't follow those processes and procedures, your county balloting will be invalidated. We've got that problem down in Dallas County. We've got that problem in Bexar County. We've got that problem in Travis County. So again, it is about enforcing the laws, enforcing the standards, and holding people responsible and accountable. And to this point right now, Republicans have never done that.
Thank you, Senator Huffines.
Seems to be the way with us all the time.
Well, look, we know people cheat in elections. People have cheated in elections since there's ever been an election. The Romans and Greeks probably cheated each other. It's the foundation of our constitutional republic. It's to have confidence in our elections. And when that foundation breaks, all heck is going to break loose. It's imperative that we have confidence. Well, I'm proposing to give you confidence and to create a new law enforcement division, because what this is about is enforcing the election laws. We've got a lot of laws and that's great, but we don't have any enforcement of the laws. So my proposal is to create a new law enforcement division. It's called Government Corruption and Election Integrity Division. It can have up to 500 officers in it. One will be assigned to each county. They're going to be completely familiar with the laws, the election laws. They'll follow the ballots. They'll be in between the two parties. They'll be in central accounting. They're going to know the software, who owns the software, who programmed the software. And better than that, we're going to have a new court system, have a 3-judge panel. We're going to have a new prosecution system so we can get convictions. And we can move the venue out of the counties where these violations occur. Government corruption is real. Election fraud is real. Who are you going to call? Who are you calling when you think your county commissioners are lying and cheating? Who are you calling when you think the school board or the water board is not being honest? Who? I saw corruption firsthand in Austin, Texas, and let me tell you, it's real and it's a swamp. I've seen it locally. And the scary part about it is, it's not hard to find, but you need confidence in your election. I'm going to make sure that we've got forensic audits of all the elections. As a businessman, I understand how valuable that can be, whether someone's cheating or not. They give you great information of best practices of what you can do better. And anyone that doesn't want a forensic third-party audit makes me really nervous. I mean, that's like, really? Are you serious? You know they're probably hiding something. Well, I'm going to make sure as governor I don't unilaterally change our election laws. And I'm going to make sure that we get back, change the misdemeanors, like Colonel West said, back to a felony. And the Huffines administration, you're going to have confidence in your elections. Thank you.
Thank you.